Hello, hello. Welcome to the Willow Show, your home for wealth and health and sexual vitality. Today we're talking about how to take turns in the bedroom. So, this is something that recently has really gotten a good stronghold in my relationship. So I wanted to share it with you. It's a really much better way to go if you are working on building your sexual rapport with a new partner, or if you're working on recreating the spark with a long-term partner, or even if you're just dating multiple people. It's still a fun way to go. When we are born with a certain amount of one kind of energy or another. So we either are born with a certain amount of masculine energy, or we're born with a certain amount of feminine energy. And these two different kinds of energy are what predetermines whether you are born into a male body or a female body. Um, if you're a geek like me and you love to study everything about yin and yang and the sexes and the masculine and the feminine, then you are already aware that being born into a female brain is a completely different ballgame than being born into a masculine brain. And if you're not a geek like me and you don't study this stuff all the time, then you probably still have a sense of this, I would imagine. Just being in a relationship with men, men hear things differently than women hear things. Men speak things differently than women speak things. And this has everything to do with the neurochemicals in our brains. It has everything to do with our hormones, signals. It has everything to do with even the structures in our brains, like the amygdala is bigger in a man's brain than it is in a woman's brain. And that's the piece of the brain that kind of gets you on fight mode and energetic mode, like out to do something action mode, right? So much more yang. And then, for example, the corpus callosum is much more wide and spread out in a woman's brain. And that's the structure that connects the left and the right hemispheres of the brain. So it's the structure that really helps you as a woman be more of a multitasker, more like knowing what's going on all around you all at one time. So it's just fascinating. I love studying the sexes. And so taking this time in your sexual relationship to take turns, really, to be in the feminine role for a whole evening, and then to be in the masculine role for a whole evening. And so you get to choose with your partner. You get to set up little kind of dates for yourselves. And maybe as a woman, maybe I'm in a place in my cycle where I want to be in a more giving role. I want to be in a more active role. And so my partner, who is a man, he will be in the more receptive role. He'll get into that receptive place in himself where he just gets to just relax and just be and really just receive whatever it is that I have to offer him, whether it's my heart, my love, my compassion for him and his life, whatever he's going through, or whether it's actual sexual touch or sensual touch, whatever I have to give, he is there to receive it. And all the while, he's also letting me know what he enjoys, what is working for him, what really turns him on and what doesn't. And that conversation needs to always be happening and always be really present and current for that authentic truth to come out. I'll just pause for a moment and speak for a second on authentic truth, because I think this can be a really hard one for people on how to actually speak what's in their hearts. And so there's your heart is kind of like the soil, like the bed for your tongue, right? Your tongue roots into your heart. And as your tongue roots into your heart, that's how the expression of what you have in your heart gets to flower up through the root of your tongue, into the body of your tongue, into the tip of your tongue, and out to your partner, whoever you're talking to. And so connecting and opening your heart, doing some heart opening exercises, laying back on a roll or a towel or whatever it is, some way that you can just relax and let your heart open, that will help you be able to speak your truth of what you like and what you don't like, what works for you, what doesn't work for you more easily and more readily. So you can play with that, practice with that. And then when you set these evenings up for yourself, where you're in the receptive role or you're in the giving role, really set yourself up for at least 90 minutes. Give yourself a full 90 minutes to explore what that means to really be in the giver role. The giver role is the masculine role, it's the yang role. And then, you know, when it's your turn to be in the receiving role, then you're more in the feminine role, you're more in the yin role. And in the yin place, which is probably what our society is least comfortable with, when you're in that yin place, that is where you get to simply be. You really get to just lay back and open up and just be. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to be anyone or anything to anyone. And that is really an incredible gift and a fun thing to play with and explore. So enjoy that practice with your partner, with your beloved, and, you know, put it on the calendar. That's the last thing I would say, is like, you really have to like set these times up for yourself or they just don't happen, because there's so much other stuff in life that's going on that seems really important, like we need to get it done. But connecting with each other is almost more important than any of that other stuff, I promise, because when you take the time to really connect and to really listen and to really pay attention to your partner, just a whole world of possibilities can unfurl from that. Okay, everyone, so much love, so many blessings, and I'll see you real soon. Namaste.